apparently a title for this, but I can't see what our title is.
I was
Hi.
just on YouTube.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
We are here. I tried to say hi last week before. I don't know. Happy hour number 31, the story of this podcast. I don't know what the story of this podcast is, so I think David was planning on talking about something last week and didn't. So,
Yeah, I don't know either. I know he started it with his dad, and that's all I know. Also,
yeah.
Spook is being fussy, so
Oh, poor baby.
we'll see if he calms down.
My dog's watching from the other room. He's like, I hear a baby crying, Mom.
Yep, yep. He's normally pretty good when I put him in his crate, but I think he napped with me earlier, so.
Oh, poor baby. Yeah, we're going to the drive-in later, so we'll see how the boys are usually good at the drive-in, but we will hopefully be good. Yeah.
Cool.
My dog is like, are we going somewhere?
You say go. Drive-in sounds nice. I don't think that there is one around here.
Yep, I usually go. I'm lame and only go for the second movie because usually they only have one movie I want to see. Hello. But yeah, we're going to go see No Time to Die.
Very nice. Yeah, I have not seen the Lego Star Wars special because we've been watching The Haunting of Hill House, which I've been meaning to watch for years. Mm-hmm. And we're on episode 9. I think there are 10. Mm-hmm. But the Lego Star Wars special looks really good. Actually, I've never watched any of the Lego Star Wars specials.
Oh, they were the Halloween one was adorable. Go. And the Christmas one was really cute too. But yeah, the Halloween one, I watched like the first half of it and then my internet cut out that day, so I had to wait and watch it later. So my friend Missy and I watched it and it was fairly adorable.
Oh. Yeah, we'll have to put that in.
One of the stories involves Spider Mall, and he keeps making really bad puns. So it was literally like, I think they wrote it specifically for Hannah.
Yeah, probably. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was very cute.
Yeah, we'll probably watch The Haunting of Bly Manor, but I'm gonna suggest that we watch the Star Wars Halloween in between as like a palate cleanser.
I was gonna say it's about 45 minutes long, so it's fairly cute. I watched that. I finally watched Visions, which I liked. Other than that, I don't know. I've been working on. I have another convention this upcoming weekend, which I had a convention last weekend and the weekend before. So,
wow.
It's the two little ones were kind of letting me know what's wrong with my costumes that I need to fix. So I'm currently trying to fix everything that needs to be fixed.
Fun.
Yeah.
Are you going as Jen or what's your costume
for? I'm going to 2 days of it. I'm going as Jin and as Ray.
Cool.
So yeah. It should be fun. I paid my hairstylist to do my wig because I was struggling. Jin's wig is so easy. I literally could do it on my head, like because normally you don't style a wig on yourself, but that one it's just a bun. I just like pin my wig in and then pull my hair back. Ray's is complex, so I gave up and took it to my hairstylist.
Which Ray is it?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
Is the outfit. My hair is kind of a little more like her other hair because we kind of did a hybrid of it. What will work with the wig and what works with like my face to not make me look weird. So it's less of her like bubbly ponytail and a little more of her original knots, but it looks cute and you can tell who I'm supposed to be. So.
But yeah. Spook just settled down, so that's promising. Fingers crossed. Yeah, her. I Well, one time we had a snow day and I was stuck at home and I didn't have anything to do. And so I practiced doing her um, Force Awakens hair. And I looked up YouTube
Yeah,
videos.
I think that might be closer to what I'm wearing, but because the thing is, her stuff change, like her basic outfit changes,
Yeah.
where she ends up having like 4 outfits,
Mm-hmm.
which is the 2 in Last Jedi. But like her accessories change really subtly, like silly stuff changes, like the difference between her Rise of Skywalker holster and her Last Jedi holster is just like they removed the stitching between, like the stitching is different, and I'm like, that is just a. So if you're trying to be like a Rebel Legion Ray, you have to have a different set for everything, and I'm like, I'm trying to find like, because I'm not really looking for Rebel Legion approval right now. I'm just doing it for fun. So some of the stuff I'm making where it can be used for more than one ray.
Yeah,
So if I
that makes sense.
yeah, if I can keep my wig nice, I can use it as every ray, because she wears her hair more ponytail bubbled
Mm-hmm.
in Rise of Skywalker. But if you wear it in 3 buns, people still know who you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
My sister, I don't know if you watched the Marvel What Ifs. My sister decided she's going as Captain Carter. So.
Oh, no, I haven't watched it, but I just want to watch that episode because I'm a big, maybe not a big, but I'm a fan of Peggy. I think she's really cool.
She couldn't find the stuff with the Union Jack on it like she wears, so she just bought a Captain America shirt and the pants to go with it. And she's like, I'm gonna do my hair in victory rolls and then wear red lipstick and then put a mask on to go out in public and not be able to wear red lipstick, but I'm still gonna be wearing it. Like, whatever makes you happy, Rebecca.
For sure. Yes. I know I'm ready to start wearing lipstick in public again because I like wearing lipstick and I work from home and no one sees me. So I can wear it for me, but
yeah. That's I rarely wear makeup for like the next, however many happy hours you're going to see me in the same outfit, because I wear this sweater most of the winter over whatever else I'm wearing. So I wear the same outfit all winter.
I wish it was cold enough to wear sweat. I bought all of this, like maybe not all, but I bought some new fall clothes, which is what those boxes are from. It has been in the 80s here every day.
It is supposed to be 88 tomorrow, and I'm like, veto. I just turned when I got home from work, and I get home at about just after 4, and it's just after 6 now. So I turned my air on because I turned it off last night because I was hot, or I was cold. And so I turned it off probably sometime this morning. And then I got home from work and I'm like, okay, now it's humid in here. So I turned my air back on. Then I woke up from my nap and I'm like, I'm cold now. It's that season in Illinois where I used to have one of those at my old house. We had a Nest thermostat. So like it would do heat or cool. It would just keep it at the same temperature.
I like that. Mine's not like that here.
No, mine is not either. It is. But yeah, it's supposed to be 88 tomorrow. But I work in a data center, so starting in like September, the temperature goes from it's kind of chilly in here to I can't feel my toes in here. So
yeah, I just would rather be cold. I like wearing layers. I had to wear I just put this on for the pod, but I was wearing a sleeveless shirt today. Like
it's insane.
It's been so hot.
It's tomorrow, I think, what is it? It was supposed to be like ungodly tomorrow. Good Lord.
We're trying to
waits till I get on happy hour and then they all text me. The high is 88 tomorrow here.
Ugh.
And then 73 on Monday. So we're just dropping 15 degrees.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. So I'm going to schedule my migraine that I'm going to have on Monday from that pressure drop now.
Speaking of that, yeah, last Friday after we recorded, or like at the end of it, I felt my lip like tingling.
You were saying that. Did you
Yeah,
ever figure out what you had a reaction to?
I had like it was a bad. I should have put pictures in but maybe it would be too gross. But like my lips was, we had to like go and get Benadryl from the store like right then because I
Yeah.
was worried. I think it was from ibuprofen, but I don't know. I've been too afraid to take it again.
Okay, so this is gonna sound weird. Did you get a new kind of ibuprofen?
No,
Like where you
we've got a bigger bottle from like Publix, and we've had it for a while, and I take it. I mean, not regularly, but regularly. Like that's my pain relief of choice.
Yeah, I get it. End up taking ibuprofen because I'm nearly 30 and forget that I'm nearly 30 and do stupid stuff.
Yeah. Well, I had a headache earlier that day, and it did take care of the headache.
Yeah.
Well, the only other thing is we did have dinner,
Mhm.
and it was like, what did we have? It was Asian food. It was some kind of soup. It might have been pho. And then we had like dumplings and things. But I don't
That
have any food allergies, and then I ate my leftover. Oh, it was udon. And then I ate my leftovers the next day and I was completely fine. So, I've been taking Tylenol this week, and Tylenol is not
I know
ibuprofen.
it is not. Yeah, I hopped on last Saturday because I've been getting where like the only overtime I can get on Fridays. So I will eventually come on to record with you guys again. But right now, if I want the extra money, I work Friday nights or I don't get overtime. So I hopped on like right before I was going to go out to dinner with my cousin in the parking lot just on my phone to say hi. And it's just David sitting here. He's like, I think I forgot that everybody else was busy and I thought we were having happy. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I would sit on and chat, but literally I just spotted my cousin that I'm supposed to be meeting.
Oh, I know.
Because I,
I feel like I haven't been able to join on a happy hour very much at all.
you're parenting.
I am. Well, and it's like 6 o'clock is when he's still like, there's a term for it, like sundowning or something, where dogs get crazy
Yep.
when the sun goes down. And so like today he he was just really well behaved today, and like wasn't having an issue, and the timing worked out okay. But other days he's like crazy, and you cannot control him, and he's barking a lot. He barks a lot. I feel like our trainer kind of got fed up with us today.
Yeah. I used to have a Sheltie, and those are barkers.
Hmm.
Smart as a whip, but they
Mm-hmm.
bark. My dogs now are just, I mean, they're Chihuahuas. I've heard this, and it really explains why my life is the way it is. Chihuahuas learn everything they to set their personality and everything in the first year of life. After that, you're not going to change them, which is kind of annoying because Chihuahuas live for like 15 to 20 years, and it's like cool. So now I have this absolute monster. No, my dogs aren't monsters. They're just very set in their ways. They were pad trained at their old house, so they're pad trained with me, and they want everything. They're chill most of the time, but there's a couple of things. It's just like, no, we're not going to grow out of that or undo that because we didn't learn that in that 1 year period where we can do stuff. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying so hard to like do the training now, do
Yeah,
the socialization. We
yeah.
went into Petco today to get new toys, and he didn't bark once. And like normally I have to take him out by the end of the trip, and Deacon buys the stuff, but we went through the checkout with Deacon, so
That's good. My dogs like to bark at everyone at the Joanne Fabrics because our Joanne Fabrics is pet friendly. And
oh.
my dogs have a stroller because
Hmm.
they're small and like to run in opposite directions, but I usually put them in the cart because otherwise, if one of my dogs he's a Chihuahua, he gets nervous, he piddles because he's
Hmm.
a Chihuahua. And
Yeah.
he knows the world is really scary when you only weigh 8 pounds. So I prefer to keep them up and contained, but I don't exactly want to put them in the Joanne Fabrics cart because, like people put all sorts of stuff in there. So I got them a stroller for it. And so they'll go in with their stroller, with the thing fastened on it and everything. And one of the managers will go, "Oh, it's my favorite customers." And from the store, you just hear ruff, ruff, ruff. And she goes, "Hi, Snoopy." And I'm like, "Thank you for appreciating the fact that my dog doesn't like you." It's not that he doesn't like people. He's just like, "I'm sorry, you have the audacity to approach my stroller."
Yeah. Well, Spook loves people. Also, like for a while, I was afraid he didn't like kids because there are two girls that he used to bark at.
Mhm.
But then our neighbors upstairs, they just moved in last week, and they have a few kids, like a 5-year-old boy who loves Spook, and Spook likes him. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
gonna work out.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me if my dog likes kids or not because I don't plan on having any, and I'm not usually around many. So, like, Boots loves children. This dog wants to, I've taken him to stuff before, and he's tried to sneak off at my parents to go play with the kids next door, and I'm like, "Excuse you." He does not like children because children move in erratic patterns, and Snoopy doesn't
Yeah.
like being able to predict where somebody's, because he's the skittish one. Snoopy
Mm-hmm.
does not like children or men. So very, very small social group in Snoopy's world. But
Yeah.
yeah, children they make him nervous because they move erratically. And I don't know if a man was mean to him or something, but he does not care for men. However, I've never met a dog that loves women more. Like
Oh.
he loves ladies. He has the devoted network of aunts who my friends all are his aunties. And I'm basically called like, "Hey, can you bring Snoopy over?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad you want to see me. I'm just here to chauffeur my dog around." But yeah, Boots loves children. And children love him because he looks like a sausage. They think he's great. And I'm just like, "Okay, cool. So I'm going to go take my dog to the park so he can play with the kids."
Oh, that's good.
They're fun.
Yeah, I'm not around kids that often, but after having Rex, who did not like kids at all,
Yeah.
it's just nice to have a dog or like to. I understand the importance of trying to nurture.
Yeah. See, that's my thing is kids are like, "Can I see your dog?" And I'm like, "The red one, I'm going to pick the other one up because no." Like my friend Missy, who Snoopy loves her, and so she has all sorts of pictures on her phone of her, holding and cuddling Snoopy. Her niece and nephew really want to meet Snoopy, and she's like, "You know what? They're little. We can probably switch out Boots for Snoopy, and they won't know that it's not the dog they don't see me holding." I'm like, "Well, that's good because Snoopy has liked one person in his life under the age of like 15, and it's my friend's son. I don't know what, because usually men and dogs, but this teenage boy my dog loves. And so I go over to my friend's house specifically because Heather's like, "Yeah, Cooper would like to see Snoopy." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll bring Snoopy over." And I walk in, and my dog who hates men is sitting on her teenage son's lap. And I'm like, "Cool. So I guess you're the exception."
Yeah.
Whatever works. But yeah, we're gonna go. They come to the drive-in with me. We went to see a couple months ago. They had Raiders of the Lost Ark was the late movie, and that was like at the high point of summer when the late movie started at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have the first and second movie. Um, so we went to the late show that time. But since they liked it so much, I think we're gonna go see the new James Bond movie because I've been feeling bad that I'm gone so much. So.
Well, good. I hope you enjoy it.
We do too. Jason and I watched Spectre, which is the one before this, earlier this week because I'd been rewatching them and he wanted to rewatch that one, so we just watched it together, and a good time was had.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, pretty good, not bad. Are you not a Bond fan or?
I just haven't seen them. I'm not a fan. I'm just
See, I like the newer ones. My friend Robin and I watched all 24 of them in lockdown, and I can tell you that a lot of the older ones have all of three plots. The villain has one of three evil plans. But yeah, the newer ones are a lot better with the Sean Connery ones from the 60s. The sexism is kind of off the charts, but
Yeah. Is it Daniel Craig?
yeah, Daniel Craig's the new one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching those. It's Skyfall and Spectre. So wait, you said?
It starts with there's Casino Royale, which is kind of like it's sort of a the way Bond works is it's not like strict continuity because obviously multiple actors have played Bond, but usually each actor's movies have their own continuity, but a
Mhm.
lot of the older ones don't build on each other. The Daniel Craig movies are all made to build on each other. So it
Mhm.
is Casino Royale, which is Mads Mikkelsen is the villain from Rogue One. Somebody else in that I can't remember who. Then Quantum of Solace, which isn't that great. It's kind of the worst of the lot. Then Skyfall is a masterpiece, and Spectre is pretty good.
Hmm.
Have you
Yeah, I've
ever
heard of
watched?
Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall is amazing. It is. Casino Royale is my personal favorite, but Skyfall is probably the best one.
Gotcha. Yeah, one day I'll get into 'em. Hi, Carly.
Hi, Carly.
I've been looking at the comments.
They're they're decent movies. I mean, if you're going into them looking for like earth-shattering artistic cinema, you're not going to find it. If you're going into them like I do, which is car chases, pretty women, and British men in suits, I mean, that's all I was really looking for with these movies.
Yeah, I mean, I like a good action movie.
Yeah. Spectre, Andrew Scott. I don't know. Did you watch Sherlock?
Yes.
Moriarty from Sherlock is one of the bad guys.
Oh,
It's kind of
cool.
fun because I didn't realize he was in it. So he walked in and I went, Moriarty. My brother, who goes to see this movie with me, goes, who? Because he hasn't watched Sherlock.
Yeah, and this is not related, but that same thing happened when we were watching The Haunting of Hill House, where one character keeps seeing Nathan Scott from One Tree Hill, that actor who I've only ever seen in One Tree Hill.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like this one actor that you only know in this one role.
Yeah, and she keeps like looking up, and he'll be there, I think he's a ghost, but it hasn't been explained yet. And every time I'm like, Nathan Scott, and Tika's like, I don't know who that is. Like, well,
It's like
when
watching a movie with my friend Robin and I, because we're both movie trivia people. So we're, going off on where we can find each of the other actors in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Carly
fun
is
with Bond movies because like one of the Bond movies, I think it was one of the Brosnan ones, maybe I don't remember which one, but like at the very beginning, there's somebody there. They have like a role as a submarine commander. They have like 5 seconds of screen time and a line and a half. But it's Gerard Butler in one of his first film roles.
Oh.
So it's like you can spot these people who are going to become very famous later.
When I was working at Missouri S&T, our office was up. Oh, sorry, you probably hear that plane. We get a lot of planes around here. Anyway.
I used to live on the approach path to an airport, so I get it.
Oh, so you get it.
Yeah, I got it.
Our office was on the second story, and our receptionist would feed peanuts out the window, like put peanuts on the windows ledge and feed a squirrel, and she named him Gerard. And every day he would, like at the end of the day, he would come and take peanut.
Hey, whatever works.
And keep you occupied and happy in your workspace.
We just had the mouse that lived in my office, and people are like, wow, state buildings have mice? And I'm like, you think people come in and people, they forget we are here. But then when we had to go, we have like a floor where there's room under it. because they run cables and stuff through it, and somebody was down under there, and they went, "Oh, so I found a dead mouse," and they did not expect me to go, "Oh no, not Basil!" And my supervisor's like, "Yeah, she named him."
Oh, after the Great Mouse Detective?
Yes, because that is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, Carly made me watch it one time.
Very underrated. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think I made my friends watch it when we were all watching movies during the pandemic. I'm like, "Y'all, we're watching The Great Mouse Detective on Friday." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it is a masterpiece."
It's Sherlock Holmes, but mice.
For mice. I have been rewatching Sherlock because they had a sale on it on Vudu. So my friend Ethan and I bought all of it, and
Fun.
so I bought the first 2 seasons and Abominable Bride.
I think I've seen it all, but
It's so sad now though, because the woman who played Mrs. Hudson died a few months ago.
did she? I
She
don't think I
did.
knew that. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I might need to rewatch the later seasons.
See, I didn't like the later seasons as much, but I still enjoyed them for what they were worth.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny, like all the people who were freaking out because they're like, "Oh no, with Book of Boba Fett, we're not going to get Mandalorian until 2022." And I'm like, "Oh, you were never a Sherlock watcher, were you? We'd wait 2 years for 3 episodes and we liked it."
Yep, we did. But I don't watch a lot of TV shows, and so I'm fine with waiting as long as the quality is good.
Yeah,
and Sherlock is pretty good.
I was gonna say Sherlock was one of my shows.
Worth the wait.
Yeah. I haven't been watching much else recently. I'm like my friend lets me use this Vudu account, and he has like 700 movies on there and many TV shows, and I keep watching the same 5 things.
Yeah, we got back into Grey's Anatomy, so every now and then we'll watch a new episode. Well, old and by Grey's Anatomy standards, new to us.
Yeah.
And then Deacon loves Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his guilty pleasure show, and so we'll throw that on too, especially if Spook is being like chaos. Mm-hmm. And I can't watch a show that has like a story to it. We'll put that on.
That's why I used to like I watched police procedurals because like while there may be a basic plot outside of the realm of the story, most things are finished within an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like Law and Order. That's why you can that is the one reason why you can have Law and Order on all day and it can just skip around in episodes because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Although Peacock at one point did get all of SVU and I started watching, I'm like, how are there 20 seasons of this show? But I love that show, so I will watch it. That is actually one day I was watching SVU like right after The Force Awakens came out, and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. It was Adam Driver because every actor has been on Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
A lot of Broadway stars do Law and Order because it's filmed in New York, so you don't have to be, go out to California to do a show.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
This seems like a good place to like get your foot in the door with acting.
Oh yeah. I was reading my friend Ethan at some book sale got me a book about Law and Order, and they said that there's a rotation, I think. Like you can be an extra on as many episodes as you want because it's just New Yorkers. So with a different coat, they'll never, unless you play the corpse. If you play the corpse, they won't let you on until the next season because they can't have the same corpse showing up. Like nobody's going to notice. Most of the time they're face down anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta finish watching Criminal Minds. I got really into that show and then just stopped watching it.
Yeah, Deacon watched it for a little while. I never really got into it.
Minds. I
Yeah,
was also recently watching Star Trek Discovery because the producer I work with is really into Star Trek. That's his thing. Like where mine is Star Wars, his is Star Trek. So I started watching and he's like, "You just started with the prequel series?" I'm like, "There was no rules. You just told me to go watch Star Trek." And he goes, "You picked the one with whatever guy you liked the best, didn't you?" I'm like, "No, actually I picked the first one that shows up on Paramount Plus." Yeah.
Oh, you have Paramount Plus?
It's on pause right now, but I had it, so I'm going to get it again.
Hmm.
My little icon on Paramount Plus is Blue from Blue's Clues. It's great because they give
I
you
love
like
that.
options.
I might have to. Well, I will have to get it at some point because all the new Avatar: The Last Airbender content is going there. So
Yeah, I was gonna say they switched it over after I think my friends and I think I should just finish season 3 at this point because it was. I watched all of the rest of it. I need to watch Legends of Korra or whatever that show is too because I've heard it's good, but I didn't quite get there. Nice.
yeah, Cora's the Funko Pop I keep closest to me.
Mine are all across the room. I
You would
found
like her.
I found a new one the other day. I was at because I spend too much money at conventions because I'm dumb. One of my friends is like, "Okay, I go to so many conventions, I only buy wearables because I can't buy any more fandom merch." And meanwhile, I've only been to the one big convention and then these two small ones, and I'm going to another big one. So I'm just like, I will buy all the fandom merch, and then eventually I will be an adult and not anymore. But I found the Funko Pop I'd been looking for. It's right in her resistance vest from the end of Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and this is coming home with me.
Oh yeah, I got that one too with the when she's handing over the
Yep.
lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite outfit that she wears, so I wanted that one in particular.
Mine too, but people are always like, people always seem to sleep on that one. I'm like, but I love that vest. They sell
Yeah,
it as
no, it's
and
good.
I want one.
Yeah, I like her. I don't know. It actually that outfit reminds me a lot of what Cora wears.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of Cora and it does look similar. Same
With the
Carly.
long like
Same.
yeah, same. Actually, I have slowed down on buying. So although I did get a new Ahsoka in, and I should have another one coming this week.
You and Meg and your Ahsokas.
I have to have them all. Because
I have to send Meg the present I bought her because I bought her a housewarming present when it's really just a Lego figurine of Bo-Katan.
that's so sweet.
Because I went to two conventions in the same city back to back, so they had a lot of the same vendors. But one of them I happened to walk by and I happened to notice, oh, they had a Bo-Katan Lego. That's kind of cute. And then I kept thinking about it. I'm like, how much is a Lego figurine? Like under $5. I should have gotten one for Meg. It's something little and it wouldn't cost that much to ship. So I came back to the vendor and I'm like, sir, I need that Bo-Katan.
Oh, Ahsoka coming too, and I think Bo-Katan. Yeah, I got mine in this. Let me go and get them. I will show you. 1 second.
Sounds good.
Okay, show and tell time. So this is my new Bo-Katan, which I like her more than the other one.
I feel like any of her yet. I want
her proportions are much better, I think, in this one. And this is from The Mandalorian. And then this is the new Ahsoka.
looks good.
They did a really good job. And then I have another Ahsoka that was I think the Amazon exclusive. It's on its way.
I am trying to not buy the Amazon exclusive Rey, but I feel like I'm going to lose this battle because it's her with her staff out.
Oh,
Raised
yeah.
do you have the Funko Pop app where you can
Yes,
log your collection? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed.
I have apparently 29 Funko Pops. The Armorer, Furiosa, Zori Bliss, Cara Dune, Mandalorian with Child, one of my only men. But where are my Rays? I thought I put them all together. Did I put them all together? Who knows? I have Rey with 2 blue lightsabers. Rey wearing Finn's jacket, which I love because that's just really that scene always when she's running around a Starkiller base and she's wearing kind of Poe's jacket, but she's wearing the jacket because Finn's like, why aren't you wearing sleeves? Homegirl's apparently allergic to sleeves. Rey with 1 yellow lightsaber. Throne Room Rey from Last Jedi. Her with her staff on the ground. Her with 1 blue lightsaber from Rise of Skywalker. I think I have all of her in her normal outfit for Rise of Skywalker. I just need Dark Rey.
I like Dark Rey, the Funko Pop.
I want it. And then I have 3 different Jins. I need, I think, 2 more for the basics. I have, 3 more, I think. Yeah, they have 1 with her hood up when she wears her scarf over her head on Jeddah.
Yeah, the Rey I have is the one in like the poncho, I think, with the goggles on her.
Yeah, that's my friend Melissa sent me that one for my birthday this year.
I don't want to say how many and I still have to add some, but I have some of my husband's in here too, so it's okay. I have 130.
Hey, does it bring you joy? That's my new
a lot of joy.
That's my new litmus test for everything. Look, in this post-capitalist hellscape we live in, does it spark joy? Like I have 2. The characters other than like my main 3 that I have more than one of, because I'm not going to try and collect all of Leia, because even though Leia is one of my favorite characters, that's just, there's been so much stuff for her over the years.
Yeah.
But I try and get all of Rey and Jyn. But I do have 2 of Rose because a friend was getting rid of hers and she said she'd send me as many as I wanted if I paid for shipping. So I paid for shipping and got an extra Rose with it too. My wish list is 30 items, total value of $600. So we won't be filling that for a while.
I know. My wish list, I just went through and checked anything and everything that looked good and would never be able to afford it.
Because the problem is I want all of the Ellen Ripleys.
Yes,
but
I have 2.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, I don't have the one. I have the 2 from Alien, the first movie, because that one's my favorite anyway, but I don't have any of the other ones.
See, it looks like there's only one of her with, for Aliens. Is it Aliens with the power loader? Yeah, that's Aliens.
Well, there's an older one too. The first one they did was from Aliens.
Yeah, because I have, oh yeah, I see it now. There's a net in here and it won't leave me alone. I wanted the one of her holding Jonesy.
Yeah. I didn't get that one for the longest time, and then I kept seeing it. I put it in my Amazon wish list because it was a Funko Shop exclusive. Which is like $15 plus shipping. And then like some people were selling it on Amazon for $20 with free shipping. So I'm like, might as well just get it from. And then after seeing it over and over, I'm like, okay, I got to get this.
Oh, I need Rey in her X-Wing helmet too, really. I mean, really, really need.
Yeah. I mean, you have a blank wall behind you. You can put up some shelves and just have a Rey shelf.
I could put it up above here. This is actually, if you can't tell, this is my front door. I'm sitting in a different spot than usual because apparently I was not going to move the sleeping dog who runs this house.
Yeah, I do have restrictions on myself. I only buy women or animals or droids, really, but droids are animals in the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
And I've tried to keep 2 exclusives unless it's like my Ahsoka's, I have to buy every Ahsoka. So
yeah, that works. It's like I have to buy every gin.
right.
And we're pretty sure Meg owns all the Bo-Katans. It's there. You have your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own thing. I
Yeah.
wanted to. Speaking of droids, I was mad. A couple months ago, I called my friend Missy from Target, and I'm a millennial. We don't use the phone for that. So she's like, "Did you mean to call me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to look at this because I'm FaceTiming her from the aisles of Target. They had the droids that you like they're like stuffed droids from the Galaxy's Edge collection that Target has that you can like mix and match pieces of between them, but they were $5
Wow.
versus like 15. So she has a Dio now, and I have Chopper, but I'm kind of mad that I didn't buy a Dio because I would have like attached it to my dog's harness. Because that would have been the cutest thing if I could have attached BB-8 to one of their harnesses and Dio to the other. They could have been my droids, and I could just wear my Rey outfit for Halloween.
Oh, that's a great idea.
My friend calls Dio. My friend Missy calls Dio Snoopy Droid anyway because that's like what my dog is. If you reach out to him, he's like, "No, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, it is kind of my dog, isn't it?"
Oh, yeah. We caved and we'll let Spook on the couch now because he got big enough to where he could get up, and I was still trying to restrict it because he wasn't big enough to get down, and I didn't want him to hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
And young puppies, it's bad for them to jump like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're still growing. But then he got to where he could go up and down, and he knew he wasn't supposed to be up there, so he would do it out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd get up there and just go crazy. So now we have given him permission to get up there, and he will get up there much more calmly with his toys and not like throw a tantrum when he's there.
And then you'll get to the point where I'm at, which is occasionally my dogs let me sit on their couch.
Yeah.
I was sleeping I bought a new air mattress because I'm staying at my sister's apartment during Comic-Con, and it's either sleep on an air mattress or the couch, and her air mattress just popped. So I dug out my old one, but it had a hole in it. So I'm like, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have an air mattress. I have a futon, but it wouldn't be bad to have like an extra, thing to have around.
They're convenient.
I bought a cheap one, and I was sleeping on it to test it out because I wanted to make sure it worked because my sister's apartment's all hardwood floors. It was built in like 1920, so it's like the old style, really pretty hardwood. But I wanted to test on my house with carpeting, so I knew if this air mattress was going to dump me on the floor before I did it on her hardwood floor. But so the other day I was sleeping on it, and my dog figured out that this air mattress next to the couch puts me at just the right height, so he can just like lean over the edge of the couch and lick my ears. And I'm like, that's how I was waking up. I'm like, because it says you should like it for the first couple of nights. It like stretches and gets accustomed. So I figured it. I slept on it for one night to test it, and then I've been occasionally napping on it. I'm like, it'll stretch it out fine. It'll be fine. But yeah. So I was doing that, and my dog figured out it put me at just the right height for him to lean over from the couch and bother me.
When Deacon first moved to Auburn, it was a really fast decision. And so when he first moved, he moved in with just like the bare minimum. And I had to stay in Missouri because I didn't have a job here. My job was in Missouri, and I applied to like 40. Anyway, it took me a while to find a new job.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
And at some point, we moved the furniture here. I think it was like over Christmas, and I had a new job, but it wasn't starting until like February. So there was like, he spent like 5 months here with no furniture, just like an air mattress and a microwave. And then I spent like a month and a half with like literally no furniture. I had an air mattress and a yoga mat.
The essentials.
Yeah.
Essentials. So every now
Well,
and
and a
then,
microwave.
yeah. I will just decide every now and then, like occasionally at both my apartment when I lived alone and the house before I left my ex. I'd occasionally somebody's like, "Why are you sleeping on the futon?" I'm like, "Because this is where I'm comfortable. If I'm comfortable, I'm going to sleep there. It doesn't matter if it's where I'm supposed to sleep." So when I first moved out of I actually think the last time I used my old air mattress was my dad came down to help me move out of my apartment, but there was like 3 or 4 days I still had to stay there, but I wasn't like done moving out, but I had to sleep over for work or whatever because it was like the last couple of days before my school went on Christmas break or whatever. So I slept on this tiny twin size air mattress on the floor of my first apartment just because it was either that or I had to drive an hour to either because my parents were an hour north and my new apartment with my boyfriend was an hour south. So it was like, no, I'm sleeping on this air mattress.
Yeah.
And so, school finally let out and I could, move to my parents for a couple days or move basically. But then there was the one day I was packing to leave the apartment and I was planning on, cleaning it and everything that night. And there was just too much to do. So I wasn't going to be able to go back to Jason's. So I literally slept in my blanket in the corner on the floor. And I was like 20. It was just one of those where I had too much to do. I did not have time to drive, back to the apartment because I was too busy packing or whatever, the last of the stuff. And I think I was like 25 or so at the time. There's an age limit on sleeping on the floor. 25 is that age limit.
Yeah, we when we first moved in together, I guess we didn't move in together until we got married, but we got the apartment like that summer.
Yeah.
And we spent a night in the apartment and we didn't have a bed. We slept on the floor, but we were like 21. I think we stayed there a week. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while now. But yeah, we didn't have a bed for a while.
Right after I moved in, because we had made the choice, Jason had gone to Amsterdam for a couple weeks for work because his company has had a lot of offices in Amsterdam. So he had to go over to the Netherlands for a couple weeks. And I split my time between my house and his because I was taking care of the cat. But also his apartment was slightly nicer. So, if I could help with the cat. And also I was like, I'm going to go hang out at the nicer place. But I still had to drive an hour for work then. But it was worth it to commute to stay with our cat or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we decided after that we took a couple weeks trial and decided to end my apartment lease and I was going to move in. But at the time we weren't sure if I was going to move in and keep working an hour away or start grad school. And then like the 8th of December, I got my offer letter for a job that was going to pay for grad school. So then it was like, cool. I literally have like a month to quit my job and move all of my stuff and everything.
Yeah. Ugh,
I actually figured it out though, because I was a teacher's aide at the time and the college started a week after all of the high schools started up again, which was when our schedule started. So because I went back for that, it wasn't even a full week. It was like 4 days. So I went back for like 4 days to transition my student. But because I went back for that 4 days, I still got paid for Christmas break.
Oh, there you go. Smart.
Yeah, driving north an hour for those 4 work days was worth it. But yeah. And then 4 months later, we bought our house, so I had to move all my shit again.
I think we might move in the spring. We only upped our lease for like 6 months because we're kind of tired of this place. Mm-hmm. And there's a new, which we probably won't get. It will probably be full by the time we are able to move. But there's a new apartment complex in town, that just looks so nice. And it's not that much more than what we're paying now. And they have like it says they have a dog spa like on site, and it's like a gated community, and they have like all these amenities that we've been just craving. And yeah, so cross your fingers that we get to go and that our dog gets to go to the dog spa. But he barks so much that I'm like, okay, so I have 6 months to train him not to bark, because I think somewhere like that is a little more bougie. People won't be as forgiving when their neighbor dog is barking.
Like where I lived in college, I lived in like one of the nicer college apartment complexes, but not the there were some apartment complexes that were like $1,200 a month per person. And I'm like,
Oof.
who is paying? Like, I lived in a 4 bedroom, which was the cheapest in my complex, but I lived in one that
Mhm.
everybody had their own bathroom, and it was individual leasing where you weren't responsible. You know, like some college leasing, if you sign a lease with roommates, you're still responsible for their part of the rent or whatever.
Yeah.
But so ours was a little more expensive because we were each separate. But so I lived in, but I never used the amenities because I was either at work, because I worked a lot in college to
Hmm.
pay for all the gas I used to do the other thing I did, which was theater. Both I worked professionally for national tours at a theater like an hour and a half away, and I was always at the theater department, so I didn't have time to do stuff like go to the pool or go to residence things. And then I started living in adult apartment complexes that don't have that, and I'm like, but where's the mixer and the free breakfast during finals?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted during grad school. And I was at that point, we were living in our house, but I'm like, where's my free breakfast during finals week?
Yeah. Uh, we would really like a grill, or like a place where we could use a
Yeah.
grill, and like an exercise room would be great.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice.
And this place has a saltwater pool, which I've never been in one,
I,
but I hear good things.
I was going to say, I think my aunt's pool was salt water instead of chlorine. I think it's kind of nice because it's not as hard on your hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our,
So.
now I live in what's basically a duplex, but it's like upper floor, lower floor. So it's like a house, but they split it into 2 apartments.
Hmm.
And basically the guy downstairs and I just ignore each other 98% of the time because we just neither of us care. It's
Yeah. Ours is kind of like that. We have people above us though, and beside us.
yeah.
But I don't think like a, and we've been living here longer than those families. But I try to be nice to them and like kind of like, so the barking's not too much, right? And they're really nice people, all of them. So
I
I'm
figure
sur- oh, I was gonna say I'm surprised by, like, we've only had Spook for 2 months, but I feel like I now know the whole neighborhood. Because when you have a dog, you have to walk them. Well, especially a puppy who
yeah.
has a small bladder, and everyone wants to come and meet a puppy. So I feel like I now know everyone who lives in this apartment complex.
See, I always feel like I should take my dogs on more walks because we don't really go on walks because they're tiny. I mean,
Yeah.
my bigger dog weighs 9.5 pounds. So I'm pretty sure he's gotten his entire daily exercise by just running around my apartment madly, usually right when I get home. But also, again, they were pad trained before I got them because I adopted them as middle-aged dogs. So they were already set in that, pad trained thing, which is a pain when you have to change it and pay for pads. But it is nice when I work long hours and because I live on the second floor. So
Hmm.
getting up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
But they're used to the neighborhood only knows my dogs because we go on car rides a lot. And we'll
Hmm.
go, we'll walk on the other end of the car ride, but we don't usually walk the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
We go on 2 walks a day, which is like a half a mile, maybe small, maybe shorter. It's not. It's really just to the mailbox and back. Our mailboxes are like on the other
Oh
side.
yeah.
But then he gets like multiple potty breaks, and he has started to get picky about the spots where he'll actually go.
That's what I was talking to Jason the other day, and he's like, took Zero to a dog park with artificial grass, and it was not proper. And I'm like, literally, my dog is just like, is that a potty pad? I'll pee on it. And if we are not at home with the pads, and he'll go outside, but literally, at my dog is like, oh, there's grass. I could pee on it. I could pee on that. Oh, look, you know what? I don't know if mom brought a bag. I better poop. That was my friends the other day. I literally had to go into her apartment to go find something to pick up because I let my dog down for 3 seconds, and he's like, "Oh, I'm on the floor for 3 seconds. Better poop." Like, thank you. I was so not prepared for this. Like, I
That
was
is that is
just
like the one thing that he does well. Is
yeah,
he doesn't potty in the house. It happened. He peed in the house one time, but it was my fault because it was the potty break time, and I had worked longer, so it was really past.
yeah.
And I let him out, and then instead of taking him straight out, I went to the bathroom,
Um,
and he could not hold it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it was my
yeah,
fault.
we've had those disasters at my parents before when I woke up and I didn't think the dog was awake, so I went to the bathroom first. But that's why we're
Yeah.
we're we're, we're pretty good at we're getting better at my parents, except for the fact that because I just Chihuahuas, you throw their routine, just whoom, done, all done. But like the problem at my parents is I have boy dogs and they have all female
Oh.
dogs, so their dogs aren't territorial. My dogs are. So I'm like, no, no, we're not lifting our leg on anything. I don't care if you need to prove that you're the alpha dog. No. I looked at Boots one day as he walks close to my mom's curtains, and I'm like, if you lift your leg on those curtains, I'm not going to stop your Nana from beating your ass. Because you just see, like, in his little head, he's like, I must prove that I'm the alpha dog. And I'm like, okay, you know what? There's literally an acre outside. You can go mark your territory on. I'm going to need you to chill, or grandma's going to kick us out of the house because you're being an asshole right now.
Oh, poor puppies. Yeah,
Oh,
he hasn't started lifting his leg. He pees like a like a girl.
see, that's the one thing. Again, I got my dogs at 6.5 and 7.5. So pretty much for Chihuahuas, which are stubborn. Again, after that like first year and a half, so they're pretty much. I got an already set dog, and it's like, well, I'm glad I can just adapt my life around the dog because they're not changing for me, but they have learned some things. Like Snoopy was so much more timid when I first got him. He's really warmed up to people a lot more and experiences and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty good. They know where their pads are. They know they're supposed to go on their pads. One day I forgot, and like we had a baby gate that I used to when we first got the apartment that I put them in the kitchen when I left, so they were on tile floor in case of accidents. But I forgot and left it like halfway across the kitchen door, and the dog was like scared of it and wouldn't go past it to go to his potty pad. So he went to go into the bathroom because it was the next place that looked like his spot he was supposed to go. So he went in his little brain. He's like, I don't want mom mad at me, but I can't go past the scary thing. And I'm like,
Oh, he tried.
it's honestly the most common reaction to my dog. I look at this dog a lot and I'm like, oh, buddy, you tried. You know what? You're good boy. You tried really, really hard.
Oh,
Every now and then I just have to, I'm like, you know what? The world is scary when you weigh 8 pounds, and he tried really hard.
yeah, yeah. Oh goodness.
Tried so hard, but they're pretty good about not having issues now, unless something's really, really weird with our life. Then we might have problems.
Yeah,
It might help if we were awake more than 2 hours a day. They're asleep again.
perfectly fine.
They're old.
Yeah, and the spook is I wish I could show. My camera doesn't really move, but he's very cute right now. I have to keep him in his crate in here because of the carpet. Um,
Sense.
which like isn't a potty problem. It's just he will try to eat everything.
Oh yeah. My mom's dog tried to eat her carpet multiple times, and so they got all hardwood put in. And then my mom's poor 14-year-old three-legged Lhasa now can't always get traction to get going. So you got to help Bindi up and get her going.
Oh, poor thing.
They're in, my parents are in Wisconsin to visit their friends that moved up there. So I'm getting all pictures of my dog or their dogs in sweaters exploring everywhere because they're like, it's chilly at Lake Superior.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I love how 98%, it's not their friends. It's not my brother. It's the dog. Yeah, it's the important stuff.
I wish I could. Someone asked me today at Petco what he was gonna be for Halloween, but I can't even really put bandanas on him. I mean, I bought him all these cute bandanas that say like spooky on them for Halloween. But anything fabric, he just tries to. He thinks that it's a toy.
We'll probably grow out of it.
Hopefully, I can have a blanket on me on the couch now with him, if he's properly tired and if I'm like cocooned.
My dogs are the biggest blanket whores. Like, I swear they own all of the blankets in my house because dachshunds are made to go after badgers. So they like to burrow, and chihuahuas have been basically bred to be companion. They were something else originally, but they've basically been companions for a couple of thousand years. They're one of the oldest dog breeds. So, like, all of their instincts are like blanket means snuggle. So they have their own collection of blankets because you must have a blankie at all times. So yeah, that's what usually you don't actually see a dog on my couch. You see two lumps in a blanket.
Yeah, he's getting big. Is
Do you know how big he's supposed to get?
we think like around 35 pounds. I don't know. He's probably at least 20 pounds right now. We haven't weighed him in a little bit. Um, he's 5 months, so he'll get neutered next month.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm hoping he kind of calms down after that. He hasn't been too bad, but every now and then he will like hump me, like get my arm. I'll stand up and then he'll get my leg and then he has to go in the crate. But it hasn't been, it's like every now and then.
Yeah, that's the fun. That's the fun part about getting my dogs for older dogs. They were already neutered, already pretty set personality wise, and they weren't going to get any bigger, which I know because again, 8 pounds.
Yeah, that's so easy to just pick up and carry.
That's what one of my friends is looking for a new dog. And she's like, I'd like a mid-sized dog. I don't really like tiny dogs. And she goes, I'd consider a bonded pair, but I really just want one dog to be my companion. I'm like, oh, I suggest a pair of bonded Chihuahuas. You just scoop one under each arm and walk away. There is another pair of bonded Chihuahuas, which is what my dogs are at the animal shelter here. And I'm like, look, if I had more room and could manage their vet care and everything, I would have a second pair of bonded Chihuahuas. But like, my dog's like the front seat of my car is not for passengers. It has their car seat in it. The back seat of my car has their stroller. My life revolves around 2 dogs, so I can't add 2 more because I have no room in my car seat, in my stroller. I'd have to get a bigger couch.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep seeing pictures of dogs at the local shelter. And I'm like, well, Spook would like a companion, first off. It would be nice if he had an older, well-trained companion to teach him the doggy ways. But most shelter dogs are not going to be that. So I'm trying to wait. Also, like, we don't have a yard. And there's not like an open fenced in place. So like if he's outside, he has to be on a leash. And that's just hard with 2 dogs, you know, because he's already energetic. But once he's older and well trained, and maybe we live in a place that accommodates dogs a little bit better, we'll get a second dog. But
Yeah.
yeah.
See, we were looking to adopt because when I adopted my dogs, we had been looking for a dog a little bit because we thought, maybe around my birthday in March, and we ended up getting them in early February because we started looking in January when we started seeing dachshunds places. And I'd wanted a dachshund since I was little. But we wanted one dog probably in the 20-pound range. I now have two 10-pound dogs because math. We were just looking at one of them, and then they probably wouldn't have released us to one because they're released us just one because they're so bonded. And my ex was like, "Oh, they're small, get two." That was the person who was the owner of both of those dogs. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, they're small, get two." You're not the one who sleeps with one of their paws somewhere in your kidney.
Yeah. Oh man. Heck. Well, Rex was only 30 pounds. He looks a lot he looked a lot bigger in pictures, but he was 30 pounds because like we had a 30-pound limit at the time. And so we kind of got spooked too because we were looking at medium-sized dogs, but in the process we found that I think at least Auburn, but maybe Alabama, it seems like they used to have weight restrictions, but it's changed to breed restrictions.
Yeah.
So, like the new place, if we get it, the weight restriction is like 85 pounds, which is a pretty decent sized dog. But there's so many like breed restrictions, like no pit bulls, and
Yeah.
most of the dogs in shelters are pit bulls or pit bull mixes. So it's hard to find
Yeah.
dogs that fit the criteria.
See, I didn't mind because we owned a house and I rent now, but there was, a lot of pits, and I don't have anything against pits. Just I've never had a dog of my own. Like it's always been a family dog before. Like these dogs are the first dogs that are mine. But also a pit bull is just a lot more muscle than I wanted in a dog because I'm like, I would prefer to be in control of this relationship. But yeah, so that's why I ended up with the dogs I did. But
Yeah.
my family has Lhasas and the mix we affectionately call the alien because she's like half Sheltie, half Beagle and something, but she's just got these big floppy ears. And my sister's like, I think they're the satellite for the mothership.
Rex's ears stood up straight, so I'm not used to having a dog with floppy ears. I felt so bad. The other night it was dark and I had to take him out. It was like maybe 9 or 10 p.m. I went to clip on his leash and he cried. He like barked at me real loud in my face. And I'm like, put it on his ear. It's like I clipped it on his collar, but his ear got stuck in.
That's you've seen pictures of my dogs. One of them looks like Dobby the house elf because his ears sit about here all the time. The other one, bless his heart, the lottery of genetics was not kind to Snoopy. He has one eye that bulges a little more like a chihuahua, one that sits normal in his head like a dachshund. One of his ears sits up here like a chihuahua, one of them flops over like a dachshund. And I'm just like,
Aww.
The overall effect is adorable, but if you look at my dog, you're like, wow, genetics was not nice to you, was it? But yeah, my mom's dog at one point, the song, I think it's called Joker, but it's, some call me the space cowboy, some call me the gangster of love, and that goes, wow, wow, and the music. For a while, that would come on my mom's station when we were by my parents' pool over and over and over. And every time it goes, whoop, whoop, her dog's ears go, whoop, whoop. My sister's like, I think it's the signal to call the mothership.
Aww.
Hey, stop trying to chew on your brother. Having two dogs is great.
I've never had two dogs at the same time.
When
Rex
I go
was
to
my first dog.
When I go to my parents' house, I have two dogs. My sister, when she travels to my parents, brings her cat with her because her cat is on daily anxiety medication, but he's also very attached to her. So she's like, I could leave him alone, but he'd get lonely. He's a very social cat. So she just puts him in his carrier and brings him down with her because he used to live at my parents with her. So he's fine at that house or whatever. So it's the cat, my 2 dogs, and my parents have 3 dogs. So
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, there is a lot of animals here.
Menagerie. Oh, I wish I could have a cat. Deacon's allergic.
I love cats. My coworker has like 9 because he basically rescues cats, and they have a pretty big house and 3 of them that live in it. So, they just kind of they have a ton of cats. So I was taking care of him when he was at Gen Con. And I'm sending him pictures. I'm like, nope, I'm in your house and all your cats love me more. Sorry. So I went upstairs because there's some of them that are on special food, so they stay upstairs or whatever. And so I'm in one of the rooms checking on one of those cats, and his cat, which is named either Nathan Drake or Fuzzy Bastard, depending on who you talk to, because he's kind of a jerk. I'm like, I'm sorry. Nathan loves his Aunt Rachel because I'm in tending to another cat, and all I hear outside is Nathan yelling for his lovin's because he just wanted me to come back out and pet him. And I'm like, cool. So I'm now the queen of the cats.
My parents had a cat once that I named, or someone, me or I don't know, one of us named Soli, short for Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
But then at some point, my parents started calling him Bart. And so we decided his full name was Sullivan Bartholomew. And some of us called him Soli, and some of them called him Bart.
And then there's the nicknames that like you start by giving your dog a handful of nicknames, and then it just like my dog's name is Snoopy, so we call him Snoop half the time, which somehow turned into usually Boop, because we'll go to boop him.
Yeah.
So I'll call him the Boop. And then my mom started calling him Noop or Noop, and I'm like, you're confusing him.
Noop.
And then I call him Snooper or occasionally Mr. Snooper. And occasionally to the tune of Hamilton, it's, pardon me, are you Mr. Snooper, sir? And meanwhile, my other dog's name is Boots. I call him Boots, Wootser, Wootsiest, Jackass. He definitely responds to Jackass. My sister's cat's name is Sherlock. We call him Sure Wubsy for some reason. We started that. Freak. We definitely call him Freak.
Oh, poor kitty.
My mom's dog's name is Bindi Sue. We never actually call her Bindi Sue.
Well,
Susie Q, Ben.
I have a neighbor who thinks that Spook's name is Boo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he misheard me the first time. Probably because the Invisalign makes the S hard.
Oh, yeah.
So he calls him Boo, and I am a socially anxious person. I don't want to correct him, so I haven't corrected him.
Yup.
So he just thinks but it's close enough. Like, it sounds similar, and like the concept is still the same.
Yeah.
So
Meanwhile,
like, it's fine.
My friend decided that for the season of Halloween, my dog's name is Spoopy, and I'm like, thank you for holiday theming my dog. See, when Spoop grows up, you're gonna have to get him good Halloween costumes because, like, my dogs last year won a prize at a costume event because I put signs on their stroller to say it was the weenie wagon, and they both went as hot dogs.
Oh.
One year, because my mother thinks she's funny, she sent them each a Halloween costume. One of them was a hot dog because one of them looks more like a hot dog, and since one looks more like a chihuahua, he was a taco. And the pictures I have are hysterical because this dog is looking at me like, I'm not Taco, I'm Snoopy. And Boots has this look on his face like, I'm a wiener dog dressed as a hot dog. Really original, Mom. Really original.
Yeah, I was trying to find him like a ghost. I want.
You guys have a Five Below. It's like a $5 chain.
I think we might. I've never been in
They
to the
have,
one here though.
they have some cute dog stuff and usually Halloween sweaters and stuff like that, and hoodies. Like at one point, Boots had, I think he still has it somewhere, but he has a hoodie that looks like a hot dog bun.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're running with this joke, and they've both had pumpkin hoodies. So they've got, and they're usually like $3 to $5, which for
Yeah.
dogs is not bad. So yeah, if you have one, go check it out. If you have a small dog, like Spook at 20 pounds is going to be a good size there to get stuff. If you have a small or an extra small dog, you have to be there on the day Five Below puts out the dog stuff because all of the other Chihuahua owners buy it all.
Oh, yeah. I know he would not let me put a costume on him this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah.
He's just like I can wear jackets now.
Oh,
That's
good.
the new development.
Oh, good.
I can't wear too baggy clothes.
Oh God, yeah. I remember. I've had puppies. Yeah.
He just, yeah.
See, I can't wear too baggy of clothes because my dog will like crawl into it and use it as his blanket. I've been like sitting. I've worn a floor length skirt before, and then I'll like sit somewhere, and next thing I know, my dog is wrapped in my skirt, and I'm like, could you not?
Oh yeah, I haven't even tried to wear a dress around
Oh
him.
God, that might be fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, Deacon wore his like long loose shorts today, and I don't think that he tried to get them. So maybe he's evolving. Oh, it's been a rough 2 months. Worth it though. Whenever he like does something that I taught him, I like.
Or they do something like flip over and show you the chubby puppy belly, and you're just like, I would die for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, you're like, you did what to my shoe?
He took a nap with me on the couch today for the first time, and at one point he laid his head on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sold. Like, all right, you're my child.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you found a puppy. I was not really worried, but I've lost dogs, so I know how it feels.
It was hard. It was, and like to be honest, I probably got a dog sooner than I should have, because those first few weeks especially were very hard because it's so hard not to compare him to the dog you had.
Yeah.
But I think that it's been good to keep me occupied and active.
Yeah. The dog I lost a few years ago was my Sheltie that was, the family dog, but we got this Sheltie when I was 11.
Yeah.
She died when I was in grad school, so she lived with us for 14 years. So I went home to see her before she passed, but I couldn't be with her when we had to put her down because of grad school.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go back to class. I was in my capstone. Like I was almost done with grad school. But I slept in our guest room with Boots curled up with me for like 3 days because I needed my other dog. But
yeah,
we're good. My sister is planning our 3-legged dog's quinceanera because she turns 18 next spring, and I'm like, our dog isn't even Latina, and she's like, it's fine. I'm like, you just want to throw a gigantic party for our dog, and she's like, yeah, pretty much.
Why not?
If you get an invitation for a dog's quinceanera, it's probably mine.
Oh, I love that. Sweetie.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's grumpy and old, but because she's grumpy and old and has 3 legs, whatever this dog wants, she gets, and whatever you're doing, if she's mad at you about it, it's wrong. Like my mom scolded her for something the other day, and this dog loves my grandmother, and my grandmother loves this dog, and my grandma's like, no, Lisa, the dog is fine. And my grandmother has never been a dog person ever. But now that she lived with my parents for a little bit in there, she's now a dog person. And this dog is her baby. So it's like, if you think that whatever Bindy's doing is wrong, no, you're wrong. Bindy is right.
Ooh, well, I think I'm gonna go and eat some dinner if that is okay.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I should probably eat before I go to the drive-in, unless I want overpriced, undercooked hot dogs.
Could
I
have
mean,
both.
we'll get popcorn though, because that's the whole point of going to the
Oh
drive-in
yeah.
with dogs. Is I give them popcorn in their car seat. They think it's the greatest day ever, and then they sleep through the whole movie. I hope, because the gunshots might make that hard. But yeah.
Popcorn makes everything better.
Oh God, yeah. So it was lovely to talk to you, and
You
I
too.
will hopefully see you guys soon.
Yes, I'm glad I got to join. See ya.
Have a good night. Give the doggy a love for me. And
I
if
will.
you're watching this stream later, hi, we're a Star Wars podcast where we almost exclusively talk about dogs. But yeah, we talked about Funko Pops for a while. It's fine.
Yeah, I showed off my Funko Pops, so we got it in there. I will watch the Lego special sometime this week, so we can talk about it next week.
I will probably be off next week. I'm appearing at a gala where I'm playing Snow White.
Oh, that's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I'll send you guys pictures, but no, put it in the Discord if you watch it, and we'll have to discuss it because Hannah wants to talk about Maul's puns.
Yes, will do. Okay.
Have a good night. Bye.